What's up? I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. It is Wednesday, September 11th. If you live in the United States or around the world, you know what September 11th is, what happened on September 11th, 2001. And so, you know, what a horrible, horrible time for the country. But after that, I feel like our country was united after what happened on September 11th. But man, just thinking about all the families affected, people in the airplanes, people in the buildings, people on the ground helping, firefighters, policemen, civilians, just everybody involved. That's one of those things that you remember exactly where you were when it happened. You know, there's certain instances in our lives that I think that happens to us, and we remember exactly where we were, what we were doing, what we felt, how we felt. And so I'm sure if you were alive and around September 11th, 2001, you remember where you were when you found out. And so just take some time to reflect on that and think back on that, because that was a time that impacted not only the United States, but it impacted the entire world. And again, I feel like after that was one of the most united, one of the last times we've been united as a country. And so, as much as we were anyways. But we will never forget September 11th, 2001. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that means you're probably younger and weren't even alive when it happened. But go see what it's about and see how the United States came together and united after September 11th. But we remember, we won't forget. It was a tough day, tough time, tough period for the United States, but we are resilient. We made it, and it's 2024. I can't believe it's been 23 years, which is also crazy. But anyways, let's move on to something I want to talk about today. So last month I got to go to a conference in LA. It's called VeeCon. It's a conference put on by Gary Vaynerchuk. And so I got to go. It was in LA, so not too far from where I live. So drove up. Man, I got to stop saying so. We'll work on that. No so's and no ums. Anyways, got to go to VCon. There were a lot of awesome speakers. It was a 3-day event. There were musicians, athletes, speakers, and I learned a ton, and I could just talk for hours about it, but obviously I'm not going to do that. But it was an awesome experience. It was so fun. I'm so glad I got to do it, and so glad that I had that opportunity to hear from some people who are doing awesome things. And I got to hear from like Howie Mandel and will.i.am talked about AI and the project he's working on. It was closed. The conference closed out with T-Pain. That was the concert on the last night, was T-Pain, which was awesome. Also, we had, I'm trying to think who else. Jesse Palmer spoke. Danica Patrick spoke. The Bus, Jerome Bettis was there. So there were a lot of really, really cool people. This Australian guy who works for a company that produces and makes and created Bluey. And I didn't even know till I was in the session. And so that was really cool to hear just all these different perspectives and ideas come together. But one that really, really stuck out to me was by a musician named Mike Posner. You may have heard of him, maybe not. He's had a few hits, a few songs out there. So Mike Posner, he is a musician, but not only is he a musician, he's just a really, really cool guy. And he spoke on a experience he had. He decided to walk across the country. So from the East Coast to the West Coast, he wanted to end it by jumping in the Pacific Ocean. And so he talked about that journey and what it was like, and something that happened to him along the way. In Colorado, he actually got bit by a rattlesnake. And he tells this whole story, and just hearing his story and him getting bit by a rattlesnake, and I just crazy that, I mean, he could have died, could have lost his leg. And so, that was on his journey walking across the country. And so he had to obviously postpone, delay that journey until he was healed up. But the cool thing is once he was all good, he finished that journey. But I'm also talking about this because Mike Posner today released a new song called Beautiful Day. So you can find it on Apple Music. You can find it on Spotify. I'm sure there's some other places you can find it. Those are the two main ones that I use to listen to podcasts and music. So that's why I'm mentioning those. But Apple Music and Spotify, it's called Beautiful Day. And it's a really, really cool song. So I recommend stop listening to this right now and go listen to it, or do it afterwards. Either way. But super cool song that he released today. But it got me thinking about what he spoke about at VCon. And so he left us with five things on our journeys, because you might be starting something new. You might be starting a new job. You might be going to school. You might be starting your freshman year in college. You might be starting a family. You might be getting married. You might be creating a podcast. You might be starting a new job, wherever it might be. You might be starting your own thing. And that's why it really hit me, because if you know me, I've wanted to do this kind of thing forever. It's just figuring out how to sustain it and make money from doing it. And so I'm on this journey right now, and it is a journey. I don't know where the end is for this, but this journey that I'm on right now, Mike Posner, he left us with 5 points on his journey and through life, through music, through walking across the country. The first point he made was, not all crazy ideas are great, but all great ideas are crazy. I believe that. I think that's true. His next point was just take one step. Don't try to do it all at once. It's like the whole, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time is how you eat an elephant. My dad used to tell me that all the time as a kid. How do you eat an elephant? One step at a time, one bite at a time. So take that one step. The next thing he said was, my reasons to give up are always excuses in disguise. That might be true for you. I know that's true for me. So my reasons to give up are always excuses in disguise. True happiness comes from growth. Yeah. I think as we grow and as you create and do things and move forward, you get happiness from that. And then his last point was, don't wait. Don't wait. Just start. Do something. Start now. Take that step. Don't wait. Because why are you waiting? And so there's no reason to wait. So I just thought that was really cool. And it was cool to hear him as a musician speak. And so I just wanted to share those 5 points with you. Maybe they resonate with you, maybe they don't, but they definitely resonated with me. I mean, for sure, don't wait. And not all crazy ideas are great, but all great ideas are crazy. Those two really resonated with me. So if you're on a journey, whatever it might be, keep going. Don't give up. And I'm not a motivational speaker, but I just know that I can speak from where I've been on this journey and where I'm going, and knowing that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It might take time. It's that whole saying of, it takes 5 years or whatever, however long, but it takes 5 years to be an overnight success, right? You're not going to be an overnight success overnight, really. It's going to take years. It's going to take work. You've got to grind it out. And so keep going. Don't quit. If you get discouraged, just remember that this is a marathon, and whatever you're doing, it's a marathon. So thank you. Have a good one. See ya.